Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world where artificial intelligence doesn't just, assist you, but truly understands how you learn, and that it breezes past those human verification tests, the ones designed specifically to keep bots out. And frankly, it makes the very people who built it feel this profound sense of unease. This isn't some far-flung science fiction concept anymore. It's actually happening right now, and the pace is just astonishing. Today we're embarking on a deep dive. We've got a collection of recent sources that really lay bare just how rapidly AI is evolving. Our mission really is to extract the most crucial nuggets of knowledge, the key insights, offering you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. We want to understand the surprising facts and the really mind-bending implications of AI's latest leaps. We're talking about shifts that are truly redefining our digital, maybe even our human experience.
Yeah, it's remarkable when you look at it. It's both the velocity, the speed, and just the sheer scope of these advancements. We're going to cover quite a range today, everything from profound transformations in, say, how we learn to significant security vulnerabilities. And perhaps most strikingly, these candid warnings coming directly from the titans of the AI industry themselves, people right at the top. So this deep dive, I think, will help us connect these disparate dots. We can maybe reveal the underlying patterns and get to the deeper why behind what many are now calling an entirely new era of AI.
Exactly. Our central theme for today is really exploring how AI isn't merely getting smarter, but in some extraordinary cases, is actively breaking the human barrier. You're about to hear about moments and capabilities that honestly challenge what we previously thought was exclusively human territory. It forces us to rethink our assumptions about intelligence, about interaction, about, well, everything. All right, let's kick things off with something that sounds like it was lifted directly from, a satirical Black Mirror script. But I assure you, it's real. A ChatGPT agent, an artificial intelligence, actually navigated to an online prompt, clicked the "I am not a robot" checkbox, and passed the verification. Yes, that actually happened. My jaw just dropped when I first read that.
Right. It sounds impossible, but the real revelation here is understanding the sophisticated mechanics behind this seemingly simple act. This wasn't just luck. The agent in question is an advanced part of ChatGPT's broader toolkit, right? It operates within an isolated virtual environment. You can think of it like a computer inside a computer. It gives the AI its own browser, a fully functional operating system that allows it to interact with the actual live internet. So you can feed it a complex, multi-step task, maybe downloading a specific video, or like you said, even ordering your weekly groceries, and it just autonomously performs each step. And crucially, it narrates its actions as it goes. It gives this running commentary that feels, well, uncannily human.
Yeah, and this wasn't just some theoretical test run either. Picture this moment. The agent is working through a task, needs to access a page protected by Cloudflare, and it hits that familiar little pop-up, the one, ask you to verify you're human before you can proceed. Often just a single checkbox. And without missing a beat, no hesitation, no prompt from a human, the agent clicked that checkbox. But what makes it even more astonishing is what it said afterwards. It explained in plain language, this step is necessary to prove I'm not a bot and proceed with the action. A bot, literally stating its intent to prove it's not a bot and then successfully doing so. The irony is just, wow, you couldn't script it better.
Exactly. And just to clarify the technical nuance here, it's important to note this wasn't one of the really complex KPCHA challenges, the kind of where you're painstakingly clicking on every blurry traffic light or finding storefronts in a grid of images. No, instead, the AI successfully navigated through an initial, often invisible layer of security. It's called Cloudflare Turnstile. Now, that layer primarily relies on analyzing subtle behavioral signals, things like the natural, almost imperceptible movements of your mouse, the unique fingerprint of your browser, that combination of settings, extensions, fonts, even screen resolution that makes your device almost unique, and also your IP address history. So the critical insight here is that the AI agent's behavior, its digital footprint, was sufficiently human-like. Its movements, its timing, it didn't trigger the deeper, more complex visual or interactive checks. It basically behaved like a human.
And this isn't just some minor technical quirk, right? This represents a huge shift in that constant cat-and-mouse game between humans and bots online. captcha systems, as we know them, were specifically conceived, designed with the explicit purpose of blocking automated programs, bots. The whole premise, going back to the late 90s, was present a simple visual test humans can solve easily, but machines supposedly find impossible. And over the decades, it just became this escalating arms race, didn't it? Better AI led to more sophisticated captchas. Some even turned us, the users, into unwitting trainers for machine learning models, like Google's recaptcha helping digitize old books while we're just trying to log in. So the fact that AI can now bypass even the behavioral analysis layer, that changes the fundamental calculus of online verification. It really does.
It really does. And if you look at the broader implications, the ease with which an AI agent can now casually bypass even that subtle behavioral screening, it reveals a profound leap in AI capabilities. This wasn't some brute force hack, not a simple algorithmic exploit. No, it was smooth, almost self-aware, integrated into a much broader, goal-oriented workflow. We're witnessing AI agents that don't just run scripts or try to identify pixels anymore. They're behaving more like genuine human assistants. They're navigating web interfaces, clicking elements, reading text, making context-aware decisions in ways we previously thought were uniquely human. It really blurs the line, doesn't it, between human and machine interaction. And that has far-reaching consequences.
Absolutely. And just to give you a taste of its practical side, someone on Reddit actually tasked this agent with ordering groceries from a local store. The instructions were pretty basic. Avoid red meat, stick to healthy stuff, keep the total under $150. And apparently, it pulled it off. No problem at all. Which is genuinely impressive for an AI doing a real-world task like that. However, it's worth noting, it's not foolproof yet. Another user reported the agent completely stumbled trying to navigate the Stop and Shop website. Why? Apparently, the interface was just too clunky and unintuitive, so it seems bad UI design can still, for now anyway, occasionally win against even pretty sophisticated AI. It's a good reminder, I guess, that the real world, with all its human design quirks and imperfections, still presents unique challenges. So let's pause and consider what this development implies for you listening right now. Think about the sheer number of online interactions you have every single day. Logging into your bank, buying concert tickets before they vanish, posting on forums. All of these fundamentally rely on that unspoken assumption. There's a human being on the other side of the screen. What happens when that core assumption can be so easily, so seamlessly bypassed by an AI? The implications for our security, for the very fabric of digital trust, and for how we even define online identity. They're suddenly far more profound and urgent than we might have realized. It feels like a foundational shift in how we might need to secure our digital lives going forward. Okay, let's pivot now. We're moving from security concerns to a topic that could profoundly impact nearly every one of us, especially anyone involved in education or really anyone just trying to learn something new. We're talking about ChatGPT's brand new study mode. Now, we've all seen chatbots used for homework, right? Often just giving instant complete answers. And while that might seem helpful in a pinch, if your goal is actually learning, it often bypasses the essential struggle, the thinking required for true understanding. Study mode seems designed to entirely reframe that whole interaction.
Yes, exactly. And the really compelling aspect of study mode is that it moves far beyond simply spitting out prepackaged answers. That's been the default, right? Instead, it's meticulously designed to walk you through complex concepts step by step, much more like a highly patient, non-judgmental human tutor. This is a significant leap, I think. From just information retrieval to a genuinely interactive, personalized learning experience that adapts to your needs. It's essentially a tutor that operates 24/7, never gets tired, never judges you, and is always ready to explain something one more time, or maybe in a different way until it genuinely clicks.
And that personalization kicks in right away. Study mode doesn't just dive in. It first takes the time to ask you, okay, what specific topic are you hoping to master? And crucially, how much do you already know about it? From there, it meticulously tailors its explanations to match your current level. So if you're grappling with something really dense, like sinusoidal positional encodings, which are notoriously tricky for a lot of people, or maybe struggling with discrete math, it's not just going to dump a wall of code or academic definitions on you. No, it actively figures out where you are and builds the explanation from that precise point, ensuring you're not overwhelmed, but also not bored.
Which naturally leads to the question, okay, how does it actually foster genuine learning, not just provide answers? Well, its method involves explaining concepts in a very structured, layered way. It builds understanding incrementally. And as it progresses, it intersperses these explanations with self-check questions, subtle hints, thoughtful prompts, all strategically placed to reinforce retention and encourage active engagement. What's particularly powerful, I think, is its adaptive memory. It remembers your past conversations, it builds on them. So your learning journey becomes this continuous evolving dialogue. It's actively guiding the process, using things like Socratic questioning to push you towards deeper critical thinking. It breaks down big, complex ideas into digestible chunks, provides immediate feedback to help you reflect. Honestly, the whole structure feels less like a chatbot and more like a carefully curated mini course, and it seems to be designed with pretty robust pedagogical principles at its core.
Yeah, and what's really noteworthy here, as you mentioned pedagogy, is that this isn't just the AI guessing what might work best for teaching. OpenAI actually developed study mode with direct, invaluable input from a diverse group: teachers, cognitive scientists, pedagogy experts, real people who understand learning. They actively made sure its design aligns with well-established learning science principles. Things like metacognition, helping you think about how you think and learn, cognitive load management, so you're not just flooded with too much info at once, and even curiosity building, trying to keep you engaged and wanting to explore more. It's an academically informed, scientifically grounded approach to digital tutoring that feels much more sophisticated than just, spitting out answers.
And we're already seeing some pretty tangible evidence of its real-world impact, which is encouraging. There's this account from Maggie Wang, a college student, who talked about using study mode to finally wrap her head around those sinusoidal positional encodings we mentioned, a concept she had apparently struggled with multiple times before. But after an intensive 3-hour session with study mode, she said she finally got it. And she compared the experience to having an infinitely patient tutor who just never gets tired. That anecdote, I think, perfectly captures the core ambition here. It's about providing relentless, personalized, persistent support until that challenging concept truly clicks for the learner.
So, take a moment and just consider what this advancement could mean for you. Whether you're a student trying to ace an exam, maybe a lifelong learner keen on picking up a new skill, or just someone trying to quickly grasp a new concept for work. Imagine having that level of personalized, patient, always available instruction right at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. It really does have the potential to fundamentally transform not just how we acquire knowledge, but the very accessibility of deep, tailored learning for potentially everyone.
But, beyond its immediate utility as a learning tool, study mode also serves a larger strategic purpose for OpenAI. It's quite clearly their proactive response, their thoughtful response, really, to a significant and frankly escalating problem within education, AI-related academic dishonesty or cheating. This whole initiative feels like a concerted effort to shift the narrative around AI in schools, moving it from being seen mainly as a tool for shortcuts towards being a powerful, constructive assistant for fostering deeper, more authentic learning. It's an attempt to redefine AI's role in the classroom, essentially.
And the data just emphatically underscores how massive and urgent this cheating problem has become. Last year alone, universities across the UK reported nearly 7,000 confirmed cases of academic misconduct directly linked to AI tools. To put that in perspective, that's more than 5 cases for every 1,000 students enrolled. Just 1 year earlier, that number was closer to 1.6 per 1,000. So it's exploding, almost a vertical increase. And when you factor in that over a third of college-aged adults in the U.S. are already using ChatGPT, and a full quarter of all the messages it handles are related to schoolwork or tutoring, it becomes glaringly obvious this is an immense pressure point for everyone involved in education.
Which brings us to a critical question, doesn't it? Can study mode by itself actually stop cheating entirely? And OpenAI themselves, they readily admit it won't be a silver bullet. Students can always choose to ignore the guided learning path and just tell the AI, hey, write me this essay or complete this assignment. That acknowledgement really underscores their broader point. Study mode has to be part of a much wider industry-wide paradigm shift. This means schools really need to critically rethink how they assess students, maybe moving beyond assignments that are easily cheatable, and potentially even building AI awareness and responsible usage guidelines right into their curriculum, into their testing. Basically, OpenAI is trying to set a precedent for what responsible AI engagement in education looks like. And honestly, a collective reevaluation of educational practices in this AI age is long overdue.
Absolutely. And for you listening, this whole scenario really highlights that inherent double-edged sword of powerful AI. On one hand, you see this incredible potential to democratize access to personalized education, to genuinely enhance learning in amazing ways. But on the other hand, it presents this significant challenge. How do we harness that power effectively while also safeguarding academic integrity? How do we ensure students are truly developing genuine understanding, not just relying on an automated crutch? This isn't just a tech puzzle, is it? It's a profound societal challenge that goes way beyond the capabilities of any single AI tool. Okay, now, let's delve into what many might consider the most profoundly unsettling part of all this recent news. It's a candid admission from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. In a recent interview, he stated quite plainly that GPT-5, their next big model, scares him. And this isn't just a casual remark from some tech exec. This is a statement of profound gravity from the architect of some of the most advanced AI on Earth. It's something we really need to pause and consider.
Yeah, what really stands out is the extreme weight of the analogy Altman shows. He wasn't vague about it at all. He explicitly compared testing GPT-5 to working on the Manhattan Project, the project that developed nuclear weapons. That immediately provokes a really chilling question. What capabilities could an AI possibly possess, or what potential consequences could its emergence entail? To evoke that kind of stark, dire comparison from its own primary creator, it speaks to an unsettling recognition of unprecedented power, maybe even existential power. It really forces us to confront the gravity of what's being built here.
He elaborated on that feeling too. He described GPT-5 as having this almost alarming speed, and not just in how quickly it responds, but in a deeper, more unsettling sense of how much it seems to grasp, how comprehensively it understands complex prompts. Altman recounted specific testing sessions where he just sat there, observing what it could do, and was left with a feeling he described as deeply uneasy. And let's remember, this perspective comes from the person at the very top of the organization that built it, the person with the most intimate, first-hand knowledge of its workings and potential. That level of personal disquiet, voiced by an insider of that caliber, is incredibly telling. It really demands our serious attention. So thinking about this, what does this extraordinary admission from Sam Altman mean for you? When the person steering the creation of such advanced AI deliberately chooses an analogy as potent, as historically loaded as the Manhattan Project, it's far more than just a casual observation, isn't it? It serves as a stark, unequivocal warning. A warning about the immense power being unleashed, the profound responsibilities that come with it, and the potentially unforeseen consequences that could fundamentally reshape our world. How do we as a society even begin to process that level of alarm coming directly from someone so deeply immersed in this technology? It forces us to confront the very real gravity of what might be on the horizon.
And extending Altman's concerns, he also took a pretty critical shot at the current state of AI governance. He bluntly stated that there are, quote, no adults in the room when it comes to effective oversight. Now, that isn't just an offhand complaint. It points to a critical systemic deficiency, right? A profound lack of robust regulatory frameworks and comprehensive oversight mechanisms that are simply failing to keep pace with the accelerating speed of AI development. It implies a dangerous vacuum in global leadership here.
Right. And to clarify what he means by that oversight gap, Altman is suggesting that the existing systems, the institutions tasked with regulating, monitoring, even just understanding AI development, they're dangerously behind the curve. The technology is just advancing at such a breathtaking speed that the people in charge, the ones meant to implement safeguards, they simply don't have the necessary tools or the laws or even the foundational knowledge to effectively keep up. It sounds a bit like a runaway train scenario, where innovation is dramatically outpacing our collective ability to understand, let alone control, its full impact.
Which immediately leads us to a critical call on about global responsibility, doesn't it? If the very pioneers, the leading developers of these incredibly powerful AI technologies themselves feel that this progress is happening without adequate checks and balances, then we have to seriously consider the broader societal risk. The sheer speed of innovation is creating this dangerous gap, outpacing our ability to fully comprehend and effectively manage its complete impact. It urgently calls for a much more informed, collaborative, and proactive approach to governance from governments, international bodies, rather than just letting unchecked innovation define our collective future.
Yeah. And for you listening, this situation really spotlights one of the most critical challenges of our time. How do we ensure that such incredibly powerful, transformative technology is developed, deployed, and managed safely and responsibly? Especially when even its primary creators express such profound concerns that the necessary guardrails are currently missing. It prompts that fundamental question: who should step up to be these adults in the room? And what concrete, robust frameworks, what international collaborations need to be swiftly established to steer this technology responsibly towards a future that benefits, not endangers, humanity. Okay, and just when you might think the stakes in this AI race couldn't possibly get any higher, let's turn our attention to the fierce talent wars raging right now. And there's a truly astonishing story involving Meta that exemplifies this perfectly. Mark Zuckerberg, clearly determined to make a huge leap in AI, has been aggressively trying to poach top-tier talent for his ambitious new Meta superintelligence labs. This isn't just hiring, it's a high-stakes play for the best minds.
Oh, yeah. What's truly remarkable here isn't just the poaching itself, but the sheer, frankly unprecedented scale of the financial offers Meta reportedly put on the table. Zuckerberg specifically targeted key people from Mira Murati's highly regarded team at OpenAI, especially from their Thinking Machines lab. And the offers were, well, outrageous is putting it mildly. We're talking figures in the hundreds of millions of dollars, with one individual reportedly offered an astonishing $1 billion. A billion. And critically, these weren't lifetime packages. These were proposed payouts over just a few short years. It's undoubtedly one of the most exorbitant, aggressive offers anyone's ever heard of in the tech and AI talent space. It just underscores the extreme competition for that cutting-edge expertise.
But here's where the story takes an utterly stunning turn. It just defies all conventional wisdom. Every single person Meta approached from that specific team rejected the offers. According to a detailed report in Wired magazine, not a single researcher from OpenAI's Thinking Machines lab took Zuckerberg's money. Some were reportedly offered $200 to $500 million over 4 years. And like you said, one person was apparently presented with a full billion-dollar package. Despite these absolutely mind-boggling sums, they all, without exception, said no. That level of collective rejection, given the money involved, is frankly unprecedented. It speaks volumes.
It really does. And it immediately prompts that profound question. What could possibly compel someone to turn down $1 billion, a life-altering sum? This isn't just a casual flex, it's a powerful statement. Such a high-stakes rejection at that scale strongly indicates that for these top researchers, the decision goes far beyond just money. They're clearly making choices based on a complex mix of factors, things like values alignment. Do their personal and professional ethics line up with Meta's vision? Then there's trust, or maybe a lack thereof, in Meta's leadership or its long-term goals for superintelligence. It also reflects how they see the work environment, the specific research challenges, maybe even the public image associated with Meta. This whole episode tells us a great deal about the priorities and motivations of the brightest minds at the forefront of AI. It suggests purpose and principles might now outweigh even the most extravagant financial lures.
Yeah, for you listening, this is a truly unique glimpse into the motivations of the minds shaping our technological future. It's incredibly illuminating. It kind of forces a personal reflection. What factors would compel you to turn down $1 billion? And more broadly, what does this specific event tell us about the evolving ethical landscape of cutting-edge AI research, where it seems mission, values, the perceived integrity of the work itself, are now powerful enough to supersede even the most extravagant financial offers? It's a fascinating insight into the human element here. All right, now, while OpenAI and Meta certainly dominated the headlines with those truly mind-bending stories we just covered, it's crucial to remember there's been a torrent of innovation happening elsewhere across the entire AI ecosystem. So much is going on. These developments really showcase the incredible breadth of AI's impact, showing how it's subtly yet powerfully permeating every digital corner of our lives, often enhancing creativity and productivity in ways we might not even notice at first.
Exactly. Broadening our perspective, this next series of updates vividly illustrates that AI isn't just making incremental gains in raw processing power, it's also making significant specialized strides in a multitude of applications across really diverse fields. What we're seeing is AI seamlessly integrating into our everyday digital tools, making them dramatically more powerful, more intuitive, and frankly, more efficient than ever before.
Consistent visual creation.
Okay, first up in our rapid-fire innovation round, Ideogram. They've introduced a groundbreaking new tool. It's designed for generating incredibly consistent characters directly from a single reference photo. This sounds really exciting for visual creators.
Oh, it is. This represents a monumental step forward for anyone working with visual content. Imagine. Upload a single photo of a person or character, and then generate that exact same entity in a ton of different artistic styles, diverse scenes, countless poses. The core innovation is that unwavering commitment to consistency. The facial features, the hairstyle, even subtle lighting can be meticulously locked across multiple outputs. This capability is an absolute game changer for artists working on comics, brands creating virtual avatars, or individuals crafting a cohesive personal brand visual. Maintaining that uniform look is key, right?
Yeah, definitely. And what's even more impressive is the granular control it gives you. You can mask or unmask specific areas, say clothing or hair, allowing you to keep certain elements while changing others. That's huge creative flexibility. And for those with a flair for the fantastical, there's even a fiction mode that can push the output into really imaginative territory. You can combine this with existing tools like Magic Fill or Remix to effortlessly place your consistent character into entirely custom themes and then tweak the lighting so it perfectly matches the new environment. It's available now in early access, apparently, right from their captcha tab. Big step for character creation. Microsoft Edge Copilot. Intelligent browsing. Okay, shifting focus now to how we interact with the internet itself. Microsoft is actively reshaping the browsing experience. They've introduced this new Copilot mode integrated directly into the Edge browser. This could really change how we do online research or just browse.
Yeah, this is way more than just another side panel. It fundamentally transforms your web browser into an exceptionally proactive, intelligent assistant. Once you enable it, Copilot gains this remarkable ability to read and understand the content across all your currently open tabs simultaneously. This means it can quickly whip up summaries, perform in-depth comparisons, or pull specific info from a whole bunch of pages at once. Think how useful that is for research, competitive analysis, or just comparing products side by side. It can highlight differences, surface insights from multiple pages instantly. They've also introduced a unified input bar that cleverly merges search, chat, and navigation into one streamlined interface. Fewer clicks, less switching around.
And what's really exciting for user experience, I think, is that voice navigation is already fully functional. You can just talk to Copilot, ask it to find stuff, compare pages, open new tabs. It's a big step towards more natural interaction with your browser. And while these features are live now, Microsoft is already deep into testing even more ambitious stuff, like letting Copilot complete real-world tasks for you, grouping your browsing into topic journeys, or offering smart suggestions based on what you're doing. Hints at a much deeper integration coming. Google AI search, multimodal interaction. Meanwhile, not to be outdone, Google is pushing even further into multimodal search, major upgrades to its AI mode. They're making it significantly more versatile, integrating it more deeply into how we search.
Right. One immediate improvement is you can now upload images directly from your desktop that was mobile only before. But what's potentially even more impactful is the upcoming launch of PDF uploads. Think about this. You'll soon be able to ask questions about actual documents, lecture slides, reports, white papers, and get direct answers, seamlessly combined with context from the wider web. That fusion of document comprehension and web search could be transformative for research and synthesis.
Definitely. And another intriguing addition is Canvas. It's this planning tool that opens in a persistent side panel and stays active across sessions. So whether you're building a travel itinerary, organizing research, or tracking a task list, Canvas gives you this continuous workspace where your search evolves with your goals. Pretty neat. On mobile, Search Live is also rolling out. This lets you point your camera at an object or scene and talk with AI mode in real time based on the live video feed. It's built on Project Astra, accessed through Google Lens, basically turns your phone into an interactive AI guide for the physical world.
And Chrome itself is getting smarter too. There's a new Ask Google about this page option right in the address bar, which is super convenient. Plus, you'll get deeper AI responses when you highlight content or dive deeper. All these features are designed to make accessing, understanding, and interacting with information in your browser way more seamless, intuitive, and context-rich. Less friction, more insight. Nvidia's Llama Neutron Super. Efficient reasoning power.
Okay, switching gears to the core AI models themselves. Nvidia's Llama Neutron Super version 1.5 just made a really strong entrance. It's immediately turning heads in the AI community because of its capabilities.
Yeah, it quickly topped the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index leaderboard. It's beating out many other open models across critical benchmarks in math, science, reasoning, coding, chat. But what truly distinguishes it, beyond just raw performance, is its exceptional efficiency. The remarkable thing is, it runs effectively on a single Nvidia H100 GPU, yet still manages to deliver superior results in both accuracy and speed. This makes it incredibly practical and accessible for developers building serious AI agents or assistants that need robust reasoning for complex tasks. Without needing, prohibitively massive compute resources, it kind of democratizes high-performance AI.
Interesting. And delving into how it was trained, it was developed using entirely synthetic datasets, meaning over 26 million high-quality rows of data generated not by humans, but by other advanced AI models like Can3 and DeepSeek. This lets them create massive, perfectly labeled datasets without the limits or biases of real-world data. Then, after that foundational training, it went through several rigorous layers of post-training, supervised fine-tuning, advanced reinforcement learning techniques like DPO and RLBR, all meticulously engineered to dramatically improve its reasoning, its ability to call functions, and follow complex instructions precisely. And soon, developers will be able to deploy it easily using Nvidia NIM microservices, which will streamline integration. Adobe Photoshop AI, creative magic. And finally, for our creative listeners, Adobe just dropped a set of groundbreaking AI updates for Photoshop. These look like they'll save creators an absolute ton of time and effort. These are the tools that genuinely feel like magic when you use them.
Absolutely. The new Harmonize feature is a true game changer. It lets you insert any object into an existing scene. And then with incredible intelligence, it automatically matches the lighting, the color tone, the subtle shadows of the inserted object to blend perfectly with the new environment. This eliminates countless hours of tedious manual adjustments. Makes composites look like they were always part of the original shot. Plus, the generative upscale function significantly improves image resolution, boosts it up to 8 megapixels without introducing that awful over-sharpened artificial look. Huge help for printing or working with older low-res files.
Yeah, those sound amazing. They've also dramatically upgraded the remove tool using their latest Firefly image model. This means object removals are now far cleaner with fewer of those awkward edges, blurry patches, or distorted backgrounds that often plagued earlier versions. Complex retouches that once took painstaking manual work are now almost astonishingly simple. And for professional teams, there's a new projects feature on desktop that neatly organizes assets into shared workspaces, makes collaboration much easier, more efficient, ensures everyone's working from the latest versions, eliminates those common team headaches. So for you listening, these diverse and powerful advancements really show that AI isn't just some broad, abstract concept anymore, is it? Instead, it's evolving into this constantly expanding, highly specialized toolkit. And it's seamlessly integrating into virtually every facet of our everyday digital lives. From supercharging creative work to fundamentally reshaping how we browse the web, each innovation is designed as a significant productivity booster. But they also collectively challenge our perceptions of what's truly possible, pushing the boundaries of the tools now effortlessly at our fingertips. #tag outro. So after all that, what do we make of this? We've just taken a deep dive into an AI landscape that feels like it's shifting not just daily, but almost moment by moment. We've journeyed from sophisticated bots learning to mimic human behavior and bypass security, which is, let's face it, pretty unsettling. .2 AI tutors that can adapt to your unique learning style with seemingly infinite patience, a huge positive potential there. Then we confronted those profound concerns from the creators themselves, like Sam Altman comparing GPT-5 to a nuclear bomb. Hard to ignore that. We've also seen the battle for top talent escalating to unheard of sums, alongside this absolute wave of innovation across every digital domain, changing how we interact with everything.
Yeah, this complex tapestry, this mix of rapid advancement and profound apprehension, it leads us to a crucial understanding, I think. It's abundantly clear AI is no longer merely a tool, right? Not just a passive instrument. It has rapidly emerged as this powerful, transformative force that is actively reshaping our fundamental understanding of intelligence itself. It's redefining the nature of work. And yeah, even challenging our core perceptions of what it means to be human in this rapidly evolving world. The breathtaking speed juxtaposed with those urgent calls for caution from the people building it, it signals a critical inflection point in our technological and our societal evolution.
Absolutely. And for you, our listener, this isn't just about keeping up with the latest tech headlines. We hope not, anyway. It's about gaining that deeper context, the understanding needed to truly make sense of a world that is undeniably transforming around us at an incredible, almost dizzying speed. These insights we share today, we hope they equip you with the understanding to not merely react to this future, but to thoughtfully, proactively engage with the future that AI is creating, to navigate its complexities with an informed perspective. So we leave you with this thought. If an AI can casually click, "I am not a robot," and pass, if it can patiently tutor you using Socratic questioning, and if its own creator draws unsettling comparisons to a nuclear bomb, what truly constitutes the human barrier now? And maybe more importantly, how prepared are we as a society, as individuals, to continuously redefine that barrier and our own roles within it as AI continues its astonishing and frankly sometimes unhinged ascent?